Well, good morning, everybody, and welcome to the stream. I appreciate you joining me for this special stream. We are bringing to you live another match from the Old School Magic Winter Derby. This is a playoff match between Bryan Manolakos and Svante Landgraf. Before the Winter Derby started, before we even played any of our batches, it was announced that any record of 7-1 or better would make the cut. So after all the dust settled, the top 16 ended up being top 28. All right, so that there were quite a few players who were X and 1 and better, which is great, absolutely great. And I'm hoping that this will end up being an excellent match between two very well recognized players and whatnot. So, for those of you who are joining me for the first time, please don't forget to follow. You can join me each week for my regularly scheduled stream. I play 3 rounds of Old School Magic with the Northern Paladins as part of the Tuesday Night Gauntlet every Tuesday night at 8 p.m. Eastern. So, I appreciate you all being here, and I'm going to bring you in to the players in just a moment. So, and let's turn on. Okay, everybody, here we go. We've got Mano on the left, and we got Svante on the right. Welcome, gentlemen. Thank you for allowing me to stream these games for you.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah. I'm hoping that we can have a pretty good match. So good luck to you guys. For those who are not aware, Mano was the 14th seed. Svante is the 19th seed. So Mano has chosen to go first. All right, and then in between the games, I will show everybody the decklet. So good luck, guys. Take care.
Thank you.
Okay, so they cannot hear me now, and we are just going to watch some Old School Magic.
We'll keep this.
All right, they both decided to keep, which is good. Oh wait, no, Mano has decided to keep, and Svante has not. All right, so while they've got that going on, let's take a look at Svante's deck. A pretty aggressive red and blue deck.
All right, I'll play.
You know, aggro shell. Blue-red burn with dibs and flying men and bolts and chain lightnings. For those who are not aware, Bryan Manolakos is the host of his own Old School Magic podcast called All Things Considered. And he knocks chain lightning all the time. So I think that the fact that he has to play against it is really, really fun. And then let's let's bring up Mano's deck. Mano is playing a fairly similar deck, but he's got some white in there splashing for a couple of divine offerings and a disenchant. So it looks like the players are ready. Take a look at both of the decks real quick. And here we go. Yeah, Svante's just making a decision on what he's going to throw back. I'm assuming he's going to keep this.
And I'll bottom this.
Yep, okay. There we go.
Volk, Sapphire, go.
Volcanic Island into a Sapphire, setting up a pretty big turn for turn 2, possibly. Let's see what Svante has.
Island, Sapphire, go.
Okay. Both of them have 2 mana. Both of them have their Sapphires.
Factory.
We're going to see a dib.
I will make it a creature.
Make it a creature. Sure.
And I'll play copy artifact.
Oh, okay, copying his own factory. Okay.
Your turn.
Drawing out that counterspell. That was a good time to do it because Svante didn't have any red or a strip. There goes a dib.
City Suchi. Go.
Nice.
19.
Nice play.
Also 19. Well. city. Take 1. 18. Flying man.
Flying man
Another dib.
and another dib. All right.
You-
All the air, all the aggression coming in the air from Svante. But it also means that he has 4 power on the table. Not sure if he would group block here, but he might. No?
I'll do 14.
I don't know what you guys are saying in chat. Sorry. Thank you for the follow.
2. 12.
Yep.
Draw. How many cards do you have?
I 3.
2 dibs is rough, yeah, but I mean, Mano's got a dib now on the table too. Thank you for the follow.
How many cards do you have?
Appreciate that.
2, yes. Play Island. Play Chaos Orb.
Island, Chaos Orb.
Or my
Flip
what?
the Chaos Orb. No cards in hand.
You got it.
All right. They agreed before the match that they were going to do gentlemen's flips. So unless there's going to be a response, then you're not going to see very many orb flips, if any at all.
Attack for 7.
Mano's in the tank, seeing what he wants to do. He probably has a burn spell in his hand. Maybe he's going to lightning bolt the flying men. He still takes 1, but only takes it once. Svante lost a game because of an orb flip. Yeah, they were talking about that before. Recently, they haven't. Neither one of them have had the best record when it comes to orb flips. Yeah, thanks, Bruins. Yeah, don't forget to sub. You get a 10% increase to your orb flip accuracy in your matches for the month. So it doesn't matter what old school match you play. Trust me, it works.
Alright. I'm gonna bolt your flying man. 15.
Alright, so it takes the point
9.
to bolt the flying man. Then takes the 6 from the
You're gonna
The
sweep
2
your
dibs.
factory, and I pass.
Draw. Attack for 4.
No, please.
Go ahead.
6.
This is Svante's pretty low on life. He's down to 6. He's got 6 unblockable in the air,
Do you have
but
3 cards still?
Yep.
Mano has a few cards in hand. White Knight, thank you for the follow.
Go ahead.
No attacks from Svante.
Cast Ancestral.
Ancestral,
Okay.
nice. Kramer K, thank you for the follow.
2, 3. Play a Volk. And
Juiced, thank you for the follow.
go ahead.
Go 4.
Alright, Svante's down to 4. It's a pretty low life total, and any burn spell now kills him.
Cast
Flying Man.
Yep.
He can attack with one of the dibs now. He can still group block and kill the Suchi. I think that's what he's thinking about.
You know what? Cast Flying Man? Yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
Rondige, sorry. Thank you for the follow. Sorry if I'm not pronouncing it right. So this is tough. So if he attacks for 3, then it brings Mano down pretty close to direct damage range. It also means that he can group block. If Mano has a burn spell, he's not going to waste it on a creature. Obviously, he's going to throw it at Svante's face. Wow. All these bots coming into chat today. Sorry about that, guys. All right, so he did swing in. Taking a point.
Play tutor. Go to 5.
Okay.
Go ahead.
He tutored, but did tutor. Okay, so 2 triggers. Bolt. Alright, so the first one goes to Mano.
Alright, well, that was the one I was supposed to win, so.
Alright, so Bryan's up 1-0. Alright, so let's take a look at the decks a little bit more closely. So this is Svante's deck. A red and blue aggro deck, you see. Now out of the sideboard he has 3 copies of Energy Flux, 3 Blue Blast, 1 Falling Star, 2 Blood Moons, 1 Control Magic, 2 Copper Tablets, 2 Red Elemental Blasts, and 1 Shatter. And then we'll take a look at Mano's deck. So Mano has Geddon out of the sideboard, in 2 copies of Geddon, 2 copies of Control Magic, 2 Red Elemental Blasts, 2 Disenchants, 2 Blue Blasts, 1 Divine Offering, 1 Falling Star, 1 COP Red, 1 Lightning Bolt to go with the 2 that are in the main deck, and 1 copy of Swords to Plowshares. So yeah, Moon and Flux might end up being pretty good for Svante. And then we'll see what happens. Svante has some little creatures, and they're open deck lists, so they know exactly what is going on. I mean, Svante has the Flying Men, which can do some damage early and can end up getting you a lot of bang for your buck for that 1 mana. And then Mano's just got beaters with the 4 copies of Suchi and 4 Serendip Freeds. So it'll be interesting to see. Are time-shifted Psionic Blast legal in the Derby? Yes. The Derby, while it did use the Swedish banned and restricted list, ended up with the American reprint policy. So be interesting to see what they do end up doing for sideboards. So, again, take a look at Svante's deck as they're getting ready to go. Taking notes for the future, yeah. And then here's Mano's deck. All the bots coming in. Sorry, guys. It happens. Happens more during the day than it does in the evening. So it looks like we are getting ready. If you haven't already done so, please don't forget to follow. Join me each week for my regularly scheduled stream every Tuesday night at 8 p.m. Eastern. I play 3 rounds of Old School Magic with the Northern Paladins as part of the Tuesday night gauntlet. Greg, love it. Want to become famous? Play time-shifted Psionic Blast. Absolutely. Nice. I love that.
All right.
How about as you like it and not as it should be? We're not going to get into a discourse about what should and shouldn't be, or
staring contest.
you know, what banned and restricted
Well,
list,
yeah,
what
I guess
reprint
so.
policy is
I
better.
usually draw
So,
something. Like this was really a staring
Mr.
contest. I
Up
had
in
a couple of
78,
turns
thank you
to
for the
vote,
follow.
and
I
then they were
appreciate
legal
that.
Anyway,
Right.
because you were on 9 there, so I was fine at staring for a couple of turns, and I had like if I drew something, but then you had ancestral into counterspell, I guess.
Yeah, I actually could have. I mean, I could have counterspelled your flying man, but then I died to a burn spell, so that felt atrocious.
Yep. Okay.
But I don't know. I guess that game pretty much played itself. Were there any real actually the decision to bolt your flying man or save it for you was
Maybe I didn't have the counterspell.
Oh, no problem, Mr. Up, and I appreciate you joining.
yeah, I mean,
I love
that
doing
feels
the
like an
stream.
obvious
I love playing old school Magic, and I love bringing content to people who want to see it. So my whole goal is to just bring content that people want to watch, and that I would want to watch as well.
So I could like take care of one of the factors that way anyway. I knew
right.
it could still, it felt like, it's not super obvious, but it's probably correct. I mean, I couldn't really have had a bolt there because I've had a bolt when I played the flying
Look
man. I
at
could've
this,
killed
another
the
one.
bastard. I had
They're just
the
out in
bolt
full
there,
force
that was
today, aren't
nice.
they?
Were you? Oh, you were hellbent. You played the can. No, you couldn't have killed me.
No,
That's
well,
another
it
reason I
was
don't
a
have
bolt,
my
if the one I had was a bolt, it would've
chat
fucking
up
killed
on
the
Yeah, I guess that's true.
the screen, so that if somebody goes to watch a replay, they're not going to see all this. They'll just they can watch just the video of the games. Old school is the best. The more reprints allowed, the better. And yes, Rich is awesome. Well, thank you, Rad Hazard. I appreciate that. You played one of my buddies in the second bracket, Nicholas. Yeah, I did. He did fairly well. He was 7-1. So Nyarla Top Deck, thank you for joining the stream. Greetings to you too. All right, so they're ready. Svante's on the play, and he is mulliganing again.
I will keep this.
And Mano is keeping his. Eight, no? Yeah. So he did fairly well.
I guess I could have also orbed or
He and I had some good games. Third? Nice. So I was 29th. I was 6-2. And it was pretty cool. I ended up with the best tiebreakers of all the players at 6-2, which means that I had a pretty difficult road. So to be able to go 6-2 with all of the opponents against whom I played, who did so excellently, I think that's a pretty big accomplishment. So
Right.
I'll probably get him for 4 more that turn instead of killing Yotsuchi instead of, maybe that was incorrect actually, because it's really only 3 more
runner-up in the
take
Summer
on
Derby.
from the div.
Right. I mean, honestly, I didn't like go through all the lines, but my first instinct was to be a little bit happy that you killed the div and not the sushi. I don't know if that's right, but that was my instinct.
Yeah, this probably did.
I'm not sure what that says. Sorry. Four 4-0 to 4-4 with Svante's deck. Oh, that's brutal. That's brutal. Yeah, I started off 4-0 and then I went 2-2 in the second in batch 2. But again, I had a draw of opponents who are excellent players and who did extremely well. So I'm just glad that I was able to do that. And then for those who didn't catch it, I did have an absolutely amazing match where I came back from having my hand mind twisted away on turn 2. So Mox Bropel, thank you, I appreciate it.
Factory, Shadow the Soul Ring, go.
Ooh, Shatter the Soul Ring. Yeah, so the start time for this moved from 9 o'clock until 9:15 because of the fact that my son gets on the school bus anywhere from 8:15 till 9 o'clock in the morning, and it's not consistent. So the players were kind enough to allow us to start 15 minutes late. That way I could guarantee that I could be up and running. Yeah, that match was pretty cool.
Factory go.
Mine twisted only once in 8 matches. Must have been nice. My 2 matches that I lost were on the back of Mind Twist. Yes, I did get to Mind Twist my opponents as well. And I'm sure that if I went back and looked... Pemin, hey, thanks for joining the stream. I appreciate it.
Chain you.
17.
Go.
I did 0 points of damage with dibs in my second batch. Oh, I heard you played 7 points today. Yes. For those not aware, I will be on Gordon's stream, the Walk stream, later on today at 2 p.m. Eastern. I'll be playing 7-point singleton against Dayforth Bard. So that'll be fun.
Go.
Strip mine, holding back the factories. HWMTG, hello. Thank you for joining the stream. I appreciate it. We've got a heck of a match going on right here. Yeah, so I mean, both of the players are playing pretty aggressive decks. Both of them are red and blue based.
Mind Twist for 2.
Mind Twist for 2. Mano's having some issues with red mana this game, but it went as it normally happens with decks like these. That there was a lot of damage flying and a lot of dibs and some Suchis.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
After Rich plays, I'm going to play my Evil Eye Dreams deck on Gordon's stream. Oh, that's going to be awesome. I'm probably going to end up missing that because the reason that I'll be on Gordon's stream early is because of the fact that I have to wait outside for my son. I have to be out there anywhere between 3:15 and 4 o'clock because I have no clue when when the bus will come. It's just so inconsistent. It's unfortunate. I hope Dave is going to use his current 7-point singleton list. We have not finished the 10th event yet. I'm not sure if he's going to. I obviously don't know what he's going to use, but his deck is mono white if that's what he's doing. Yeah, mono white with, and he's won every single match that he has played. He's just steamrolled through people. So, Wizard of the Boast, good morning. Thank you. How can Svante not have Blood Moon here? Yeah. What's he doing? I'm playing 7 points match in the Dutch League at the same time the Walk stream starts. Go. Frown Town. I'll invade the Netherlands soon. Fair enough. If it ain't Dutch, it ain't much. Nice.
I'll disenchant one.
Disenchanting one. He's opting not to use the strip mine because he's low on land.
Play Ruby, then I'll chain you.
8.
Alright. Mano's down to 8.
How many cards do you have?
Swanta's still at 20. Mano's been on his back foot this whole game because he hasn't had any red. There's some red, so maybe he can do something. You have all the good stuff. Tulips and windmills.
Go ahead.
Artifacts are not lands. High-speed playing from both sides. Yeah. I mean, it's going to happen when
8, 6.
you know these two aggressive decks
Jeez.
Double bolts for the win.
Well, at least you picked your great draw to line up with my shit draw, so okay.
Mano said that
great
right.
draw when I kicked an ancestral into blue mana.
But I mean, good enough. You know, once you hit the ancestral.
Svante had a great draw to go with Mano's shit draw. So
Right, sure.
beautiful women.
Shit draw, right?
Nice, a third game. Yeah. Oh, I love it when any match goes to 3 games. It's absolutely great content, which is good. Just hoping that the game is a good game as opposed to being a poopy game. That one wasn't so great, but I'm rooting for both players, regardless of the outcome. I have no horse in this race. Even though Mano and I played together back in the late 90s, early 2000s, and he is from the Syracuse area. Again, I don't have a horse in the race. Svante is an excellent player. Mano is an excellent player. And they're both playing excellent decks. So we'll see what happens. Again, we'll show you Mano's deck. He floundered, and that's going to happen sometimes when you play multiple colors, is that you can flounder on your mana. The 61st card probably has an issue with that too. I'm missing a CC on my frame. Yeah, well, it's because my casting cost is infinite, or it doesn't exist because you can't cast me. Should root for Svante because mana is like 7-0 against you. Oh, I gotcha. And then we'll take a look at Svante's deck as well. Suspend infinite. Yeah. No, I'm kind of like the I'm blanking on the name of it. The one in Alpha that doesn't have a mana cost. Cyclopean Tomb. I'm the Cyclopean Tomb of Alpha.
All right.
So. But. So they're doing all kinds of pile of shuffling, trying to get those cards randomized really good for this final game. Speed pile shuffling, yeah. Maybe perhaps pile shuffling should become an Olympic sport. Flying Man tips you into the Svante column. Well, it could be.
3, 5, 7. I'll keep.
For those who are not aware, there's more derby action going on Dave's stream. You can see there's a link in the chat. You can go ahead and you can join David Third, and he's got Winter Derby action on his stream as well. Please remind me the next time that you'll be going live, Dave.
Looks like it's a surprisingly bad mana base for being basically 2-colored.
I know. Maybe you need that. Maybe you need that third City of Brass.
Well, yeah,
All the
the
mulligans.
6th island is kind of greedy. That should be probably an underground sea, I think. But yeah, I mean, it could see a third city as well. But it's so good to just being able to run 2.
Svante really likes the mulligan. You know, well, there's an art to the mulligan that a lot of people don't. They don't actually use. People are afraid to mulligan sometimes. They don't understand. Like, I had a conversation with somebody about mulligans, and he just refused to mulligan past 6. And then that exact game that I had that conversation with him, I mulliganed down to 4 in 1 because he kept a 6-card hand with only 1 land.
Not like I'm
There are not enough 4 spikes here. Tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern. Okay, yeah. So that'll be great. If you guys want to go ahead on over to Dave's stream, DRT 509. You can watch more Old School Magic tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern on his channel. Yeah, Simon's got something later today. I'm not exactly sure what time. You need more statistics to calculate? Yeah, that's funny. Nobody wants to become an expert in mulligans. Well, I mean, it's know when to hold them, know when to fold them, right? Didn't somebody say that famously at some point in time?
So bad.
Mulliganing is the weakest part of my game. I'm way too optimistic about my cards. I always think my 7 can go great places, and it don't. Yeah. The Courage Mulligan effectively is a skill more of us need to develop. Yes, another skill that a lot of us need to develop is the ability to top deck. If you don't know how to top deck, you've got to learn that skill. And it's something that very few learn and even fewer master. So was Mano just trying to ride the back of that first turn Suchi, seeing what he could do?
Tundra. Attack.
Simon's at 1 p.m. Pacific, so that would be
Go ahead.
4 p.m. Eastern. All right, so let's. Simon's not in the room right now, but we can still do a shout out for Simon. You can see part of his stream going on up above my head here in just a moment, and you can click on the link in the chat right now. It's a B75 _ Simon.
I'll strip your city.
Stripping the city, getting rid of the red mana.
Did.
Throw him down a dead.
Go ahead.
Yeah, top decking is definitely that. A lot of people, I've heard situations where people said, well, if he didn't top deck this while this was happening, then whatever. But, I mean, you set yourself up for those top decks, either in the positive or in the negative.
Dib.
So, all right, so another double dib draw, but this one's from Mano. Neither player having the red. Two factories don't beat 2 dibs, but they will keep the other factory at bay. Going for the the flying men over the ATOGs. Yeah, top decking is not as random as it might seem. Definitely not.
With the dibs.
In playing to your outs, that's one thing a lot of people don't do. And then, hey DFB, how's it going? Yeah, it's not as random as it might seem. It might come from brewing, as always playing to your outs. And that's something that people don't do. A lot of people don't take that time to actually think about what they could draw and what the consequences of their actions will be. Top decking in Singleton is even harder. Well, yeah, it is. But in Singleton, you try to mitigate that with additional cards that help you draw cards, or even recursion or whatnot. So top decking in Singleton is easy. Just build a consistent deck. Well, yeah. Singleton helps. It is. It can help you become a better deck builder and a better Magic player, and resource management is huge. The soundtrack, you'll see under Santa's name. My music is courtesy of PatrickD'Artega.com. Patrick D'Artega is a very, very talented musician who has been gracious enough to put royalty-free music on his websites. So, wasn't Will named the top deck master, Will McGran? I believe that is his nickname, yes.
Attack.
All right, so
Red land.
wow, there's the concession. Rule number 1 in Singleton is never disenchant a Felber. So.
My opener was this. So I had the Suchi, and I could do some weird balance things too if things got out of hand and you killed my Suchi.
Sure.
And then it's just like, you drew 1 colored mana, so.
I mean, you had the strip mine Good thing we don't play many of them in this format.
I know, right? This is a testament to how much worse, like, right, if in a 2-strip and a 4-strip format, that's, even though it was kind of a non-game, it's a 0 game. If you draw a red source at any point there, you're at least back in it. Although, I don't know, you really need to draw a Side Blast at that point, right?
I mean, right now I had to draw like Ancestral into Time Walk into Twister into Time Walk or something.
right, at that point, right.
Yeah,
I'm curious how you sideboarded.
I think the viewers are too. Great games, guys.
What to expect. So
right. There were a lot of different ways to do it, I think.
Yeah.
The given is I want my 2 Red Blast and the Shatter.
Yeah.
Those are by far the best cards. Then comes like the moon problem in general.
I figured you're probably gonna moon me, right?
So the first thing is I want to, like, do I want to flex you? Like going for the extra moons and the Red Blast and the Shatter seems like the default, and then the question is, how much do I flex you?
Yeah.
Because the problem is that you can just pay for Suchi and beat me that way.
Yeah, it's not great. So I figured you probably weren't going to be on full fluxes, but I figured you'd probably be on 1 or 2 and moons.
Yeah. So I was figuring. I mean, you're bringing in your disenchants, so you can handle that shit. There's a couple of cards which are impossible to see because of your glare there.
Oh, sorry. These are I brought in control magics. Even though your creatures aren't that great, you're super weak to it. You have literally 2 Red Blasts in your whole deck that can deal with it.
Yep. Yeah, I know.
And even taking a flying man is probably okay.
That's maybe not great, Bob, but sure.
Right. I mean, if that's my fallback, it's fine.
So the question is what I cut. If I'm adding these, what do I cut? Do I cut some combination of Flying Man? And we were figuring I could cut the Brain Geyser probably because it's not going to be that grindy, and then like some combination of Flying Man and Chain Lightnings.
Right. I figured you were going to cut some Chain Lightnings. That's why I didn't bring in the Cop Red, even though it's medium against you anyway.
Yeah, but like I can still probably get value from the Chain Lightning by like trading into Dib or Flying Man.
Right.
But it's like that. But then I was figuring that I'm probably a bit too low on actual threats then, and it felt like it's not that hard for me to stop your threats a little bit, and then you should just die to the burn plan. So what I was actually sort of doing myself, despite the advice of people I talk to, is not bring in the Blood Moons, because I know you're going to be on four disenchants, and I was figuring like if I don't have the Blood Moon, but you're going to be very, very scared of it and never tap out because you're going to sit there with disenchant up instead, then I could probably just get a Flying Man down and kill you with bolts instead.
Wait, so well then did you not bring in fluxes? Because
no, I didn't want any fluxes. I think
because if you're not going to bring in moons and you know that I'm going up to 4 disenchants, you can definitely my disenchants.
I don't think I want flux anyway. Actually, maybe 1, but I don't think flux is that great here. I was expecting you to cut the Icy, by the way, because that is the one that's by far the weakest to flux.
It is, but it's better than Copy Artifact, I think, and it's really good against Div in general. So
it's not better than Copy Artifact against.
Well, if I can pull the factory thing off, what I just didn't want to have hands where I'm stuck with like Mox, Copy, Suchi, and you flux me. You know, I really just wanted to hedge my bets against everything. And this felt like the best way to hedge. It's not the best strategy against a specific card, but it's a way to hedge across the board.
So you're really low on mana with this setup. You're on like 24 mana sources when you do like that.
Yes, I'm low mana, so I kind of deserved getting mildly mana screwed in game 2.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So I was figuring like one way to do it is just to go something like on the play. I think I did when I tried just cut Brain Geyser, cut my main deck Blood Moon, cut an Island for this 3, and just try to be as aggressive as possible when I'm on the play.
Super aggro. Wow, cut cut the Blood Moon. Don't even keep the Miser's Moon just in case. The first one's usually pretty good.
But it's probably well. I mean, the plan then is just to blank your Disenchants or have that be a fear instead. But like the probably the right thing could be something like bring in the Bloodmans, cut the Brain Geyser, cut 2 Flying Men, cut 2 Chain Lightnings or something. I think that could also be just correct because Bloodman is so strong here.
Yeah, I mean, I was very, very scared of it, but I do have a lot of answers post board. But also, you could just play it on turn 2, and I don't have the mana, and that's that.
But again, like it wouldn't really have mattered in these games anyway because it didn't play out like that.
Right, it's actually good. Well, if you brought in Flux, it would have been atrocious because I had the Moxes. But if you Blood Moon me that game, I had both my red and blue Mox, so that would have been just an awkward way for those cards to line up.
I mean, you also had you were ahead on board.
Oh, right. So you wanted your lands. Your lands were factories. My lands were nothing. So you kind of wanted that.
Things like that. Like Suchi is a decent answer to Blood Moon in general.
Right, that's the thing. There's a lot of overlap, right? Like I kind of want Suchi against Blood Moon, but I don't want it against Flux, and I want Disenchant.
Well, I mean, Suchi is not that bad against Flux.
I mean, if I draw, but like you said, I'm going to be down to 24 mana sources, so I have to tap 2 of my 4 mana to keep my Suchi around.
Yeah, but as long as you have Suchi in play, you're probably winning the race anyway.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, that's why I kept the Suchis. I'm not going to shave Suchis. They're certainly decent enough across the board, but.
I wonder if I probably should have Orb that's Dib instead that's Suchi instead in game 1, because you were at I attacked you for 7. You were on 19, I think, because it tap a city to play the Suchi.
That turn, I think I was on 16 because I was at 9 after your attack.
Yeah, okay, that's true. So I
was on 16.
Yeah, because I had attacked once with Dib and then a city.
1 city damage, right. So
you were 16 there. I kill the Suchi, attack with both Dibs. You block 1, you go to 13. Take 1 from the Dib, go to 12. You can't attack me back.
We're just staring. We're just in a Dib standoff at much higher life totals and generally you're better equipped to race than me, unless I start ripping Suchis.
Yeah, but I mean, if I draw any bolt, I win the other race as well.
Right. Although I do have a pretty full, I have 4 cards in hand.
Right, exactly. But otherwise, I mean, the plan is that I attack for 7, you go down to 9. Then I attack for 6 and leave back the Flying Men. So you need like a removal spell for that, and then I can, or I draw a bolt and win. So that is like a bunch of.
There's also the fact that if killing the Suchi turns off, makes my copy artifacts a lot worse, right? Ripping a copy is much worse on a board where I just take a Mox. So that factors in.
Huh.
It's real close. I honestly don't know the right answer. I'll just say that my instinct was, I felt a little bit happy that you didn't kill the Suchi.
Yeah, I should have thought more about it. It felt like it was such a huge life swing when I get in for 4 more in that turn. So it was like my instincts being wrong, I think.
Right. Maybe, yeah. I don't know. I'm perfectly willing to be wrong on this one. I do not know the answer. It's just like I said, just my instinct.
I'm pretty sure that's a punt for me. I did not think enough. In any case, I did not think enough about it. I should have done that.
Right. It doesn't necessarily. I don't even know if you would have won or lost the game because I ripped Ancestral anyway, so it probably didn't cost you a game. But
you could maybe have tutored for something else otherwise and sealed it that way, right?
Right. It would have changed the game. It might not have. I mean, it would have changed how the game played out. It might not have changed the outcome. That's all.
That's true. It's not a given I would have won, but it would definitely have been closer.
Right. I'm just trying to justify. If you feel like you made a mistake in a game, it makes you feel a lot better if that mistake.
Sure.
So that's all. I'm trying to make sure that's the case. I think it's probably the case. I'm not lying, but.
Yeah, it's not a given by any means. You could probably have Ancestor into Tutor should probably have given you some way to get back into the game. It feels like it.
Right. I mean, at that point I could even just tutor for Control Magic, which my main deck Control Magic is absurd on that board.
Depending on depending on how low in life you are by then.
Right, but if you do the other plan, or no, I mean, I guess
You will be lowish anyway
I
because
would
you
be
will
lowish
have
for sure
one,
because
one big.
I'd have a dib out pinging me, right?
I mean, you're probably not attacking me when I'm attacking you with 2 deads. So you're
No.
probably like taking 4 a turn. I'm taking 2 a turn.
Yeah.
Is the thing. Um, and
Yeah,
then,
whatever. We could play this whole thing out a million ways.
yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
All
Yeah.
right. Well, gentlemen, I appreciate you guys allowing me to stream these games. Those are really really good. And you guys played some great Magic. The mana screw was all over the place, unfortunately. But Mano, congrats on advancing. Svante, congratulations on such an excellent record up until this.
Thank you.
But somebody in chat asked about ATOG versus Flying Men, so I just wanted to know if you wanted to comment on that.
Well, they sort of bring different packages to each other. I mean, this deck doesn't play very many artifacts at all. It plays Energy Flux instead of a lot of artifacts. Play like Counterspell as well. So it's sort of like once you play Tog, you can't really fit in Counterspell because you need to play like Vices instead in those slots.
Right.
And then it's mostly a case of I'm not a big fan of Vice in one strips environment right now because there are so many Bolt decks and aggro decks in general. So it's so easy to get under Vice. Vice is such a bad top deck when nobody has cards in hand like that.
Right.
And therefore, it sort of feels better to play this version for once at least, to try it out. But of course, like ATOG is a much better card than Flying Man. Flying Man is pretty bad. It's just something you have to play, but it's still pretty bad. But like the main thing about me playing this deck is not that I think it's the best vault deck in the format right now. It is that I've never played it before, actually. It's such an old standby in the format, an old classic like White Swan Sharks and whatever. But I've never played it. I've never cast Flying Man before this tournament in an individual tournament, except for Unified. So it felt like it was one of those decks to check off, and it's fallen by the wayside a little bit because of ATOG and because of Blue, White, Red being so big. So I was figuring out that one, it's kind of fun to play something that I haven't played before, and two, it's a little bit underappreciated. But with like Blood Moon is decently placed in the format, and Energy Flux is a cool card and so on. So
definitely,
there are like different schools to go, and also I think like this deck is so horrible against sit in a bottle, but there's not very many bottles being played right now.
Right, I noticed that.
Right.
And all of the 4-color white aggro Savannah Lion Dib Bolt Temple decks are just cheating. No one has Blood Moon Fear. And so I think it's a great place, A, for two reasons. One, you get to be the Blood Moon deck and the aggro deck at the same time, and two, there's less bottles than usual. And so it was well positioned. I agree with everything you said.
Therefore, like it's also kind of worse against random decks, I think. I mean, I played against a bunch of budget decks in kind of close games because like Blood Moon is not good, Flux is not good, Flying Man is not very good against Black Knight, for example. It's good against the deck, it's good against like Lions, but it's not good against these mid-tier creatures in general. So there is like I don't know.
It's funny how that works. These sorts of decks, even ATOG decks, are kind of similar. They're good against the good decks like the deck, but against like mono green and stuff, like you don't like Serendib isn't that great against mono green. Flying Men is pretty atrocious. Like trading a Chain Lightning for a Scavenger feels like shit. And so you're right. They match up well against the best decks, but worse against the worst decks, which is just kind of the opposite of what you would think.
Yep.
All right. Well, gentlemen, thank you very much. I appreciate it. You guys go about your day. Have a great one. Mano, again, congratulations, and I'm hoping you do well in the top 16. Svante, thank you for joining the stream, and sorry for the loss, but that also means that you get to do commentary in other matches, so that's not necessarily a bad thing, right?
That's true.
All right.
Thanks for great streaming it.
Thank you. Then the stream will be up on my Twitch channel, and then it'll be on YouTube tomorrow. So, all right. Thanks, guys. Take care.
All right. Thank you.
Well, there we have it, everybody. We just watched a pretty epic match between Svante and Mano. So for those of you guys who are new to the stream, please don't forget to follow. My regularly scheduled stream is every Tuesday night at 8 p.m. Eastern. I play 3 rounds of Old School Magic with the Northern Paladins as part of the Tuesday night gauntlet. And then later today at 2 p.m. Eastern, you can catch me on the Walk Walk stream here on Twitch. So if you're not familiar with Walk Walk, I suggest that you try to familiarize yourself with that, because Walk Walk is the one of the places for Old School Magic. So with that, thank you all very much. I hope you all have a great day, and I hope to see you the next time. So take care.